favorite one.
Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Beyond the Summit presentation of the StarLadder I-League 13 Chinese qualifier group stage match between none other than VG Gaming Potential and EHOME Luminous. Both teams having a lot of potential here in this game. I've seen a lot from VG.P over the past few months. I like what I see. I think that team has a lot of potential. I don't know why I keep on saying that, but they do. They honestly are looking really strong, and I see a bright future ahead of them. But EHOME Luminous is actually going to be my first cast for them. Cyclops got to pick up their games 3 days ago in StarLadder, and they actually won 4 games in a row. So obviously have something to show here. They're already top of their group, but they want to show true dominance by taking down VG.P as well. So we'll see how that pans out. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks once again for tuning in. I'm Blaze, and let's take a look at the draft. So we have ourselves here the Darkseer and the Queen of Pain coming out for the Phase 1 picks here for VG Gaming Potential. They're here with the first pick, opening with Darkseer, and it's going to be EHOME Luminous to respond with the Slardar Wyvern duo. So obviously just good team fighters, great AoE controllers, really minimizes your ability to clump up against this lineup. It just means that they're going to be harder and harder to push into. In choke points in particular, it's going to be very devastating. And now they get Slardar and Bounty Hunter as that offlane duo. That's just going to be scary, scary stuff. So yeah, I really think that already EHOME Luminous are drafting really strong. I was looking at their last 4 games, which are their only listed matches, and every one of their drafts seem, in my mind, to be favorable. They had some really cool picks in a few of them, and just overall, like picking up Silencer to deal with Phoenix, picking up Omni Knight to really just allow Slardar and Nevermore to do whatever the heck they want. It's just really cool. I love their style already, just based on picks alone. It's weird to like a team without actually seeing them play, but their drafter, HYM, really seems to know what he's doing. So let's see what they've got. Already they banned out the Spearbreaker Bane. The Windranger TA got taken out in Phase 2 as well. And your pretty much standard top tier got banned out in Phase 1. They're going to go for the Lina, though. So that's got to be a mid Lina. It definitely could be like that safe lane carry that Fear used to do on EG, but I think it's less potent in that capacity. I think they want it against the Quap here. And while Lina is definitely less of a threat and of like an overwhelming dominating hero compared to what she was in 6.84, I still think that she's a really solid pick and has a lot of potential value if she gets momentum. So AoE stuns galore, and on short cooldowns too. I think that's a pretty big aspect of what we're looking for there. We've got the cooldown of 8 seconds for the Slithering Crush and 7 seconds for the Light Strike Array. You're just going to be able to spam out disables on these heroes really, really quickly. It's going to be awesome.
5 seconds.
Anyways, you got the Gyrocopter ban out, and I would assume a carry ban out for VG.P here. Juggernaut still in the pool, still decently strong, but I think Spectre is actually a threat as well for multiple reasons. Ember Spirit? Is Ember Spirit still in the pool? Holy crap! Ember is actually a pretty clear pick in my mind for VG.P here. This would give them such a good lineup. Yeah, the fact that Juggernaut is still, or Ember Spirit's still in the pool is pretty insane to me. Now, it's EHOME that have to decide whether or not they want to pick it up or let it through. It wouldn't be bad for their lineup, but it wouldn't all be like an amazing either. It would just be kind of an overall meh pick for them, but it's such a good pick for VG.P. I'm not sure. Gyrocopter and Ember were both really strong, though. I can understand why they banned out the Gyro over the Ember. I'm just still thinking that Ember is definitely the pick here, now that they have that option. In the meantime, though, EHOME Luminous, they're just going to try to focus on winning out the earlier stage, so they might not want to go something as hard carry-oriented as like a Spectre or something. Not too sure. Dragon Knight. Alright, so Lina could be safe lane or mid. DK is most likely mid. I haven't seen a safe lane DK in a long, long time. And that just sets up more potential with the Bounty Hunter, I would say. Because essentially what that means is now whenever Bounty Hunter roams on the Queen of Pain, there's much more kill potential thanks to that Dragon Tail. I mean, Light Strike Array is still really good as a stun, but the durations are just so different. I mean, you get that a 1.6 second stun compared to a 2.5. If DK gets a Dragon Tail on Quap, you probably kill her, because you already have the burst damage between the two heroes, and she's just disabled sufficiently. So I'd have to say that Quap is going to be very reliant on keeping a Sentry Ward in mid. And then the strength of the safe lane Lina is still pretty pronounced. She will be able to pick herself up earlier Yules, early Blink, and just get involved. Why is Blaze blue? I'll have to check that out later, but I'm not sure if I came up blue on the capture there. My lighting's still working, so I don't know. Alright, so Ember Spirit is going to be picked up by Jixing. No surprise there whatsoever. That is a clearly amazing pick for VG.P. For those that don't understand why, well, you've got the ability to defend your high ground to no end with the Fissure and the Sleight of Fist. You've got your ability to Battle Fury Vacuum and go for Crazy Cleave. That makes DK's Dragon's Blood relatively irrelevant. I mean, you don't really care if he has high armor if you can just cleave and ignore the armor through the enhanced damage that the Battle Fury would put out. So, yeah, overall, I think that VG.P have some really good potential in their cores. Are we? It looks like we're frozen here. Let me make sure of it. Yeah, okay. So I saw. Essentially, what happens is I disconnected right when the game started, and that never bodes well. So what I'm gonna do is, although it risks missing first blood, I'm gonna start before the match starts instead of 5 minutes into it, and hopefully we can negate any and all perfect world lag issues. So it is a little awkward to get into the draft, get hype about the picks, and then do a restart, but I'd much rather that than watch Frozen Heroes like you saw there for the next 5 to 10 minutes. The question is whether or not the restart will be fast enough to talk about these teams or just to go to a music break. So right now I feel like the late game is really strong defensively for VG.P. Jixing's Ember Spirit's going to be on point. The Darkseer should be able to get some good vacuum plays out. And just overall, I think there's a lot of value in the lineup they have when defending high ground. The Roshan Pit is also under consideration. Big Echo Slams, the Wall of Replica, a lot of great tools there. But they don't really have the tools to contest the pit, with Queen of Pain and Ember Spirit being two of the slower heroes to kill off Roshan. So while they will hold the pit hostage and make sure that the Aegis just can't be claimed by the Radiant, by EHOME Luminous, I still think that we're going to be looking at bit of a kind of standoff, a bit of a impasse between the two teams when it comes down to Roshan and other such objectives. And in fact, I'm wondering, what about the late game potential? Like, how do they actually win the game? Obviously, if they can just cleave out opponents that are pushing on the high ground and crit them down and kill them off, they can force them to buy back. But will we actually see too much action? We'll see. Anyways, it looks like we're not watching Frozen Heroes, so I'm glad that worked. Some packets still dropping out here and there, but, you know, we'll do what we can. So let's go ahead. Is Dota muted? Yes, it was. Now it's not. Good to go. Alrighty, so let's look at our lanes and let's talk about the game. We're only 1 minute in, and no blood has been spilled just yet. But yeah, we're going to be looking at HYM on the Winter Wyvern. He's going to be supporting in the safe lane, actually going to be putting some damage into Yang here, and yeah, we got some lag. But Freeze is actually going to be running on Lina, uncharacteristic to his name. He's going to be dropping some damage onto Yang's Darkseer at the cost of his own life a little bit here with the Ions. Anyways, mid lane you've got the Bounty Hunter stalking up. He's the 4-position support here, and he's got a couple sentries to make sure that he's always de-warding on the lane and continuously getting hits for free onto Fan, who is running the mid lane Queen of Pain. You got DXM's Dragon Knight here, actually going for a 101 build to kind of just sustain through all the damage. And yeah, we got lag. Oh well. This is not on the stream side, this is just how my stuff is connecting to Perfect World. We actually have Sentry Ward battles already breaking out though, and it looks like Bounty Hunter is Tango to Super Tango. Yeah, he's got 15 HP regen by eating that big juicy Tango. And unfortunately Queen of Pain has a shared Tango, so she can't make that exchange again anytime soon. The Earthshaker definitely can though, and he probably will. yeah, so he clears that out for himself, no problem, but we are going to be seeing the Bounty Hunter probably get the last laugh here, as he has that last Sentry Ward and still one Tango left. He's going to go ahead, Shadow Walk up with the DD rune. Won't get any hits in, but still going to be scaring Fan off the wave multiple times over. I'm going to go ahead and just take that one out, no problem at all. Dragon Knight with the big Tango this time.
No money.
Talking plenty about wards and tangos. That'll be the last of that, as I think they're done out of Sentry Wards, at least for now. And Bounty Hunter's going to really restrict the Queen of Pain's movement. Here, Dogfight's taking a bit of a slithering crush, and we are seeing that Heal Bomb still turn it back the other way. He eats a Mango, though, interestingly enough, and it implies to me that he kind of wants to turn onto the Dazzle. I mean, you don't need that mana immediately otherwise, and he could have definitely benefited from the double health regen. Anywho, the Dragon Tail does come out on the Queen of Pain in the end. She doesn't have Blink available, so although there is a Fissure, was a very close call. Fan almost drops down there, 36 HP remaining. Nice Fissure, though. Not only gets the Queen of Pain away, but actually kills off the Dragon Knight under tower. So, actually a great presence from X that he got the stack and was able to turn around that kill. Very, very impressive. Jixing. Not really the spot he wants to be in. He has very low armor, and the Slaughter could just go right on top of him once again. If he was a little bit faster, he could run him down, but Jixing has boots, and Kaido does not. Now going for the sprint play to at least cancel himself, while losing a lot of HP in the process. So Kaido really needs to get his boots up online. Tranquil boots would be the next thing as well.
You have been.
In the meantime here, Dogfight's just doing the best he can to zone and play that full 5 position, letting the Earthshaker do a little bit more. Speaking of, he gets the Fissure block, secures the rune for Fan, but it's not a really good one. Bounty Hunter, what's he got? More sentries, more tangos. That's all he wants, just to dominate this mid lane and pressure Fan, but she's still found 11 and 2 CS, though the DK has found 17 and 6. Actually going to be sentry versus sentry, but they have Dust this time, which is the trump card against the Bounty Hunter. With that Fissure, that Shadow Strike, and that Dust of Appearance, Queen of Pain will pick up the freebie here. Beyond that, Freeze seems to be just continuously farming since the Darkseer was actually forced over to the jungle. I thought those stacks were for the Queen of Pain, but it seems the Darkseer needs them, and Yang will move himself quickly towards level 5. And that Soul Ring is actually really important for him in order to stick to the lane. Otherwise, he just gets Dragon Slaved out. Are we seeing
Dire's bottom tower is under
It's gotta be
attack.
Yules. It's gotta be something else. Soul Ring Yules, maybe? I don't know. I don't think that's a Orchid, even though it's the Orchid components. I don't think Orchid's that good this game. I mean, it's good. 4 heroes, maybe even 5, are countered by Orchid to a degree, but not enough to just change the Lena's build entirely. I honestly haven't seen a Lena Orchid in a long time. I don't really have a good reason for that, other than the fact that just the Yule's Aghanims is the staple of the hero. Alright, well, DK is approaching level 6, but he's not there yet, so the Bounty Hunter doesn't have that much kill potential if the Queen of Pain keeps her distance. There is going to be an Observer Ward here. Sentry Ward, I don't think it sees it. It's just on the line, and that generally means the Observer Ward's out. We'll see a little bit later. It really comes down to how you look at it. It might be in the radius, but we'll check it out later. For now, though, we've got the Slardar at level 5 now. Let's check out our experience per minute between him and the Darkseer. It's actually really even. But Yang heads back bottom. He's got the Soul Ring now. And I think he'll edge out the Slaughter counterpart a little bit here. We're actually going to see HYM have to Arctic Burn to the high ground here. The Fissure, not really helpful here as it doesn't balk a flying dragon. And 2v1 play here on Kaido once again, but this time we'll have an extra participant as the Bounty Hunter moves in. Dogfights has a TP scroll, but there is a Shuriken Toss always available. So just got to keep an eye on the Dazzle here, because he could absolutely get crushed by a few good hits if the Slaughter moves in. Oh, this is the perfect timing, too. Yeah, I think they definitely are looking for a kill here. But in the meantime, we have a TP bottom. Queen of Pain, level 6, trying to catch somebody off guard, but the Observer Ward, the perfectly timed lane ward coming out. The reason I say perfectly timed is, look at it, it's before the 7-minute mark. That's when the wards have just expired for teams that place them before the 0-minute mark. And yet we have a brand new one here, here on bottom lane. So that's perfect. In the meantime, DK is still edging out the Queen of Pain, as she has made her rotation and is wasting quite a bit of time bottom. But the Wyvern is actually hurting. Actually, Ember Spirit's really hurting. They go ahead, wait for the Dazzle to go for the pull, and they actually find their opportunity to jump and kill off the Ember Spirit. So that's a really good kill on top lane. DXM has a double damage dragon, and the Elder Dragon form, he's going to go for it. Earthshaker's going to take a lot of damage here, but is it going to be enough to actually kill him? He gets the Breathe Fire out, a few extra right clicks, but he can't solo him, dropping him down to 130 HP instead. So this will, with the DD rune, allow him to start sieging the tower pretty heavily, but no full-on kill coming out. Winter Wyvern, a little bit worried about his levels. Right now he's only level 2. Has only skilled up 1 Arctic Burn, and really just we haven't seen too much from him. Laguna Blade will come out with the Dragon Slave LSA combo. And Lina with that early Soul Ring is able to just get just enough mana to kill off the Darkseer. Really nice value there. Bounty Hunter, in the meantime, gets picked off under tower here. Sonic Wave committed, and that's gonna get the 3rd point on the board for VG.P. Still a pretty close game overall, but I think the fact that there's such a low-level Winter Wyvern is really going to start hurting EHOME Luminous unless they start making moves against it. Jixing has his level 6, barely gets a chance to use it. And we'll just try to hide under tower for a while. He doesn't have a TP to refresh. I think the Dazzle does, though. I think that in this case, the Dogfights probably should have given the TP scroll to Ember to recharge and to get right back on the lane. But, oh no, Dogfights doesn't have one. He used it earlier. My bad. So yeah, Ember just heads home, gets back to the lane as quickly as possible, and is going to go for the Wand Bracer to build up his drums. In the meantime, Darkseer
under attack.
looks to farm out the jungle, but Lina's one step ahead. Once again, this is a triple stack. Freeze is just farmed up, and look at that net worth. Suddenly a 4K net worth Lina. Just 1 and 0, but farming so well in the safe lane. And you're going to see an extremely early Eul Scepter from her. Arcane, Soul Ring, and Euls. It's just going to be mana flowing rapidly, and this is going to be hard for VG.P to withstand unless they can start finding kills on her.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yang really wants to farm this jungle, but there's absolutely nothing for him. So he's just going to go for the rune instead. It's going to be an Invis Rune on DK. This could be another kill in the making. He'll go ahead and bottle sip and look for his opportunity to make the pounce, but in the meantime, Winter Wyvern under tower is going to be gone on by that Ember Spirit. Just going in with the Remnant, Fisher to follow through, and yeah, that's a very dead level 4 support. Just trying to get solo experience, but that in turn leads the risk of you getting picked off and caught out like that. Usually when you have a good jungle hero, like a life-stealing agility hero, that's when you'll have the hero that supports solo the lane and look for an earlier level 6. But in this case, Lina just clears out stacks and then starts roaming for kills, and that's where the Wyvern hangs out
Radiant structures are fortified.
that vulnerable position. Same thing with the Dazzle here. The Ember Spirit makes its way bottom. This leaves Dazzle to soak up the lane top, and with this very nice little ward here, which usually won't show much, but with the trees being destroyed, shows quite a bit. Yeah, we're actually going to see them get a lot of information on this top lane, but bottom lane might be where action starts. Winter Wyvern being converged upon by 3 heroes, but Bounty Hunter has scouted it out. Is there anything HYM can do? He's going to go for the Arctic Burn over the tree line, but they have vision on him with the jump. Still, he'll be okay. So the tier 1 is being killed off thanks to the Elder Dragon form of the DK top. And it looks like it might be denied by Bounty Hunter bottom. He's got enough time on the Shadow Walk, and I don't think that he will dust the tower, but he doesn't want to risk it.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
So Freeze finding an insanely fast Euls. The Dragon Knight, what will he go for? Shadow Blade? Nope, Drums himself. So just fast attack speed. Obviously, just overall a strong hero, very mobile, very active, but Drums is not the most common pickup on him. You often see something in terms of maybe initiation, like Shadow Blade or Blink. Oh, Earthshaker looks to be going down here, but he's got a couple heroes behind him. There's Surge available, and I don't think they're going to be able to single him out. In fact, it's going to be the Bounty Hunter that gets caught out underneath the Sentry Ward. The Cold Embrace keeps him up. Nice Embrace by HYM, but the wall finishes him off anyways. Now he only gets Arctic Burn on one hero here, maybe two. But Fawn dropping the Sonic Wave, and they're going to be able to kill off the Dragonite. Nice deny coming in from the Bounty Hunter. Takes that income away, and Jixing is limping away at very low HP despite the mechanism. So in the end, a pretty back and forth exchange. I would say the big thing here is that the Bounty Hunter bought back. Wyvern denied the Dragonite, and Bounty Hunter bought back after dying immediately. So, not sure about that. Obviously, he'll have a lot more gold to work with, and I can understand the value of the buyback if the fight had lasted longer. If you get 3 tracks out, and the fight continues, and then you get the gold for that, even the 60% reduction on gold, it pays for your buyback. But didn't get that opportunity, throws it away a little bit, and he'll be running around just with boots only for a little while. 350 gold poorer. Meantime, Queen is looking for that Orchid. Not going to be very effective against the Lina because she'll have Yules, or the DK because he's so tanky. But, you know, Slardar, Wyvern, both of them could be frustrated by it a bit. I still think Aghanims might be a better pickup for the Queen of Pain here, though. Just my personal opinion. Overall item progression, we're going to be seeing that Yule's complete on the Lina. Oh, Freeze is just doing so well this game. And from there, Kaido, how's he doing? Yeah, only 10 gold away. Finding Yules and Blink at the same time for Lina and Slardar, that is just going to up the aggression so much. Really looking forward to the next push play. They're going to go in this mid-tier 1. VG.P will look to defend it, but with tracks against them and now 2 tools to initiate the fight, oh my, EHOME are going to start running down their opponents. I mean, we do have the Echo Slam available. There's going to be the Sentry to try to close out onto Bounty Hunter. It looks like it will be a dieback for him, but Kaido comes in with the Blink Dagger, and they're looking to follow it up. If not for that Fissure, if not for that beautifully placed Fissure, that would have been a follow-through from the DK, but just too much distance. Jixing, oh, comboed up, despite the mechanism, will be going down in a very large radius crush, catching 2, but there will be the wall back on 3. Big Echo Slam following that up, killing off the DK, I believe. Oh, so close. He almost died to his own corrosive. Or actually, the illusions, I think they put the debuff, but they don't actually do damage. Either way, Ember Spirit killed off very quickly, but a nice response from the Darkseer Ember combo. And perfect example of why you draft those heroes together. Still counter pushing here, though. They might be able to hold this. I mean, the Wyvern is 6 after all. So, yeah, I don't think it's in VG.P's interest to keep forcing this. They got one really good fight out, and that's plenty for now. The Earthshaker much closer to a Blink Dagger than before.
Bountiful.
Yeah, our double Arcane Boots, that's even better, actually. Just sustaining them and solving pretty much every mana issue they had previously. But they're just going to go back in mid lane here. Fan looks to be going down. Fissure or not, they just comboed up so beautifully. They don't even have to use an ultimate. And now they're going to just take down the tier 1, no problem at all. Heroes nearby to try to hold it, but down it will go. Glyph, and then the inevitable death of the tower slated to fall.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So they're going to look for the jump up top. There is no real vision for the Ember Spirit right now. It's very dangerous to farm against a Blink Slaughter like this, but they do. We do see a ping out here. Jixing, trying to slip away. We'll see if they can get on the Blink Crush. Yeah, he's able to dodge away just barely with that Remnant still standing. So, and all the Remnants right back up. He's able to keep farming, though this Observer Ward will keep track of his movements. And they might go for a smoke play on him in the next minute or so. Meantime, Convergence here on mid. Dragonite, a tanky hero with haste, but they might still be able to do this. We'll see. First, the foremost, the Searing Chains being the key spell to connect with. But that haste rune, he actually will survive thanks to the help of the Slardar. He'll just hit him with a Breathe Fire and fall back. That max movement speed, allowing them to escape, and now isolating a couple of key heroes. The 2 supports are pretty much by themselves. I mean, sure, Jixing is there to jump in, but there's a great Winter's Curse here, and killing off the Earthshaker, while the Dazzle gets killed off by Freeze in the backline. Do that Laguna. Still has the Yules to use here if Freeze needs it. But for now, they've killed off the Darkseer in exchange for the DK, and they do catch the stun combo onto Fan, following it up with the crush. They'll get that kill, and Jixing has to fight all alone, goes for a big remnant play, kills off HYM, but might not have enough mana to fight the rest of this fight. They have the amp damage vision, the Searing Chains! The Searing Chains from onto Kaido, but Jixing can't TP away, and Freeze will clean it up in the end. Jixing gets a triple kill. Freeze has the last laugh as he stuns the fleeing TP. Just enough mana thanks to this very intensive build. Wand, Soul Rake, Arcane, and Yules. But man, this Searing Chain, that literally canceled the animation of Slithering Crush. He predicted it, he caught the Slardar, got his distance on the away from the Slardar, and he gets himself another kill in the process. That was still extremely impressive from Jixing. But it's not over yet. Surge, Fisher going to be the opener onto DK, but he's too quick. Oh, he's stuck? Did they want it? No, they want to, but doesn't mean they can. Alright, very hot and heavy here in game 1. Bloodstone going to be coming out for the Lina soon. Natural progression of the Soul Ring, and still a pretty good item, though not as popular these days. And Queen of Pain, Blink Crush against her, looks to be the death of Fawn. That's his 3rd death of the game, delaying his Orchid significantly despite the successful kills he's found. Nice little Fisher here, separating multiple heroes, but Kaido could do this solo, really. The Grave TP might happen, but no, the Bash. Can he get another Bash? It's PRD. No dice. Won't happen. So yeah. Dazzle slips away. Lucky to be alive. But the tower is going to be going down slowly but surely. They don't even pop the Elder Dragon form for a guaranteed building. Yang on the other hand looking for either Blink or a Guardian as soon as possible. But for now, he's just trying to keep the lane pushed out bottom. While Jixing jumps back top. They see him with the ward. Can they actually get the jump, though, is the real question. That would be under tower. Very dangerous. But it could be still a huge pickoff if they can get it. Shallow Grave will be cooling down, though, and it no longer is safe. They'll just go for the tried and true. Pop the dragon form on the tower and fight with the Winter's Curse on the tier 2 top. Net worth right now, 3,300 net worth, favoring EHOME Luminous. Nearly 3k in experience as well. Ember Spirit gonna have that battle very soon though, and they get even more synergy with their lineup after that, along with that Blink on the Earthshaker. Just about 500, 600 gold away from a huge jump in their potential. But Bounty Hunter will scout things out first and foremost. They'll surge in the Earthshaker, but oh, will this Sentry actually catch the Gondar? No, we're gonna see the jump in front here. Jixing taking some damage. He already lost the Flame Guard, but the Slaughter is the one to fall first. They'll combine the Winter's Curse and the Laguna to kill off Yang, but he already dropped the wall in vacuum, and now it's not EHOME's fight. Even with track, they're gonna start losing heroes quickly, and it's gonna be the DK first. Now the Lina on the run. Might kill off Fan here though. Nice Shuriken bounce. Needs a Janata strike and a little bit more. No. The Grave makes sure he'll stay alive, but the Yules might catch out Jixing here. No Grave for him means no life either, and dog fights. Oh, what a Shuriken bounce. Another Light Strike Array with that super short 7-second cooldown, and you've got yourself a team wipe. Oh man, the ninja bounces coming in from that Shuriken toss are enabling so many track kills there, and where I thought a fight might not work, they made it happen. Despite combining their ultimates on essentially the same target at the same time, you saw massive damage coming out from the Lina, 2,900, and the Ember doesn't want to fight at this stage in the game. He really doesn't. He wants to avoid confrontation and only find the easy kills. So instead we're seeing a lot of momentum here for EHOME.L. A massive influx of gold from those tracks. Just insane what those guys were able to pull off there with just a lot of mana flow. I think, honestly, that's a key aspect of how EHOME are doing what they're doing. They just have so much mana to work with here. The Arcane Boots that are on the Bounty Hunter, the Soul Ring Arcanes that were on Freeze until he disassembled them, like, that's just, it allows you to keep on spamming your spells over and over, and where you would only normally see like 2 Shuriken tosses in a fight, suddenly you had 4, and you had so many good stunts from Lina as well. So just really great execution overall from EHOME, and Freeze is quickly becoming the MVP of this game. I mean, 10.6k net worth, 4-0 and 9, farming up top CS as a Lina. Wow. I mean, obviously that just means there's not been a lot of farming, dedicated farming been happening this game. There's been a lot more fighting, but that's still pretty ridiculous just to quote that stat.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And we'll see the smoke come through. Orca may be up for Queen of Pain, but I think that still might have the greater jump potential. And they always seem to have wards in the right spot, whether it was up here earlier, now they've been dewarded, or in this case, right here. Getting so much intel for the jump, and now they can go on pretty much anybody they want. The Darkseer Dazzle, they need to kill Dazzle first. They're going to go for the Wyvern ulti onto Dogfight to kill him off, but they actually lose a lot of HP on the Wyvern, and now the Lina. Both of them going down. The suicide. Very critical there to not feed away a massive kill streak. So, in the end, not the engagement they were really looking to take. VG.P respond really well in that tough situation. And it catches the Lina and the Wyvern off guard how much damage the Queen of Pain was able to put out with just the Sonic Wave and the Echo Slam. I think perfect world lag actually made it so the Echo Slam didn't play, but obviously X hit multiple heroes with that when the wall back came through. So that Blink Echo Slam, huge. I mean, he had the Blink Dagger for the fight, so he jumped in, and they did not expect that at all. I would say that's a pretty big aspect of it. And I'm sad that the packet loss is causing things like spells, such big spells like that, to not play their animations or sounds. Yeah, for those saying that the stream is lagging, it's not just your computer. It's essentially the feed that Dota is giving me from beyond the Great Firewall of China, and I'm just doing the best I can. But now we've got an aggressive play here, but under an OBS, and that means that they will not be able to find the opening they want, and in fact, it might just be another pickoff. Fan does not have the Sonic Wave this time, though, and I think that's a huge aspect. I don't think they should take this without Sonic Wave, without Echo. Like, they had a great fight just now, but they need their ultimates to make that happen. Even the element of surprise is only so valuable if you don't have ultimates, and now, just going right in, Jixing might get Yule's up here, just lifted, hit by the Winner's Curse, getting a lot of damage received, and he will be going down to it. And like I said, I just don't feel like they have that potential. They couldn't even take more than half the DK's health, and now he's going to be blinking forward after the next Shadow Strike take. Speaking of blinking forwards, Kaido landing a two-man crush, and now we're going to see the stuns come out on Yang. Despite the vac, despite the wall, he's going to be going down, and they might get one more. Dogfights, caught out, killed off, mega kill streak for Freeze, and I gotta say, I don't know why they take that fight. I mean, yeah, they have such a surprising aspect coming out of the tree line like that, but they just had this OBS ward that saw so many heroes in the area. They saw at least 3 heroes, probably 4, and yet they still tried to take that engagement when they just shouldn't have. So that cost them dearly. And we're going to see Lina prevail once again. 5 tracks, massive gold. Okay, but a massive Echo Slam coming out here. It's not good enough by itself, but with the Sonic Wave Scream, you'll bring 3 heroes very close to death. Unfortunately, very close. It doesn't make a difference. And are they desperate now? Going in for these kills, this is going to be a huge mistake from Jixing. He gets Laguna'd. He tries to dodge and run, but the track, the shuriken, sliding it. He actually lives with the magic wand, the Sleight of Fist, now getting healed up by the Dazzle. But Kaido, with the flanking position, will look to finish him off once and for all. It looks like he won't have that opportunity, though. So, man, lucky plays from Jixing there, and of course a really good Sleight of Fist dodge, but I gotta say, like, the movement they're showing right now is a bit of desperation. I mean, the Echo Slam was good, but it wasn't good enough. The Sonic Wave Scream on top obviously wasn't enough to get sufficient kills, and they killed the DK, but they lose a ton in the process and could have lost more if the Ember died there. Still, gotta point one thing out. The Ember Spirit did die to the Dragon Knight for 806 gold, and that's just straight up the comeback mechanic. The fact that this team is ahead by 14,000 net worth and that DK is second on his team gives Ember 800 gold without even ending a kill streak. So, you know, any kill's a good kill, even if it costs 2. I'm still skeptical about the way they're playing it, but if their ultimates cool down, they get their stuff back together, it might actually be worth it, the 2-for-1, because they do in fact get that huge bounty from the DK. And they're looking for that bounty from Freeze. Freeze has only died once, and it was a suicide. But if they could actually kill him for real, cha-ching. So we got the smoke play coming up from VG.P. Gonna try to... What? Drums? Really? Why would you drums? Cutting them off at the pass. They're gonna find a bounty hunter, but... Yep, they will go ahead, vacuum and silence him up, and down he will go. That's 478 gold for the bounty hunter. A good kill, but obviously not as good as the DK was. So HYM looking maybe for the Arctic Burn play. They didn't get any tracks out. I think that's a pretty key aspect of the Orchid there. The Queen of Pain silenced the Bounty Hunter, and while normally you're like, oh, whatever, it just amplifies damage, kills them faster. If you got a track out, they would know exactly what's going on in the pit, and that intel could set up EHOME for a big engagement. Force staff up for Winter Wyvern, Pipe, as well as the mech up for the Bounty Hunter. Really just trying to mitigate the Echo Slam and wall damage. A little bit of Ember damage, a little bit of Queen of Pain. And the DK has a BKB of his own. Slardar should find one soon too. Beyond that, we got a Blink Dagger on the Darkseer and a BKB in progress for Quap. But I think Ember Spirit's going to pick up something pretty big pretty soon. Yeah, Crystallis, not too bad. The lesser crit has some good potential here for some massive cleave damage with the Darkseer Vacuum, especially the Blink Vacuum, and they could actually wipe them out here. It just depends on the initiation. Who gets the jump? Is it going to be the Vacuum, or is it going to be the stun onto the Ember Spirit? And we're going to see the stun on the Ember Spirit. No Vacuum just yet. Jixing is going to be great, though. He will get at least one slight off here. Will it be enough to cleave and crit through the opposition? No. Bounty Hunter still lives. Jixing jumps away at half HP. And now it's going to be Yang that gets knocked out. DXM fighting despite low HP. They'll pick up the Earthshaker as well as the Darkseer under tower. And they are pinging out Roshan. Winter's Curse did go out in that fight as well. Didn't catch who it landed on, or maybe it didn't play, but...
Tower is under attack.
They got track gold. They got 700 on the Bounty Hunter and nearly that on the Bounty Hunter too. Dragon Knight profiting the most. BKB up for Lina. Freeze. Corey can get out to him right now and getting up to 12 Bloodstone charges as well. Rolling in the mana. Jixing is going to take the opportunity to go for a tier 1 tower freely. They know the Rosh is gone, but they'll take what they can at the same time. But yeah, I think the build is, if you can farm enough on Jixing to go for a Daedalus and then go for a second Battle Fury, I think then you can rely on those big vacuum plays to nearly one-shot everybody that's not a strength hero, to put it simply. Because it's only 1,000 HP on the Bounty Hunter, 1,900 on Lina, okay, that's pretty high, and then 1,230 on the Winter Wyvern. But we're going to see that jump here. Jixing pushing out a little bit too far. They were setting up for this for a while, and they actually don't get the kill. They move everybody here. Takes them a long time to get there. Pop in the mech. And they don't actually get a kill for it. So, kind of a little bit frustrating for them. But in the end, they're still going to be able to push out the tier 2 tower without Ember Spirit kind of cutting the creep wave. So they were going to be able to get the creeps in there and break the backdoor protection. Start using this Aegis more proactively. And I think some people will actually complain about this Aegis on the Slardar, but he's definitely the best one to have it. Because he is going to be the first one in. He is going to be the easiest one for VG.P to focus down. He's actually only sitting at 1680 HP himself. The Lina has a reduced respawn time with Bloodstone, also a death heal that could save teammates' lives in the fights. And then obviously the DK has a transformation effect, so he's not going to be as strong in his second life than he was with his first. So, Slardar, despite being an offlaner, is definitely the Aegis carrier here. And for good reason. The dragons take flight, but just gradually pushing down the tier 2 bottom while the tier 1 top falls. VG.P will put some hits into the tier 2 top as well before they actually look to retreat. They obviously have to draw the line at the high ground, but their high ground is actually really easy to defend. They've got Blink Echo, they've got Vacuum Wall, they've got Battle Fury Cleave. I actually think that EHOME.L have their work cut out for them, even with the Aegis here. They just have to siege with one person by themselves, and maybe get a pick off before they actually try to finish the racks themselves. But there's going to be the Echo Slam coming in, X drops it hard, big wall, big Sonic Wave, but a huge Winter's Curse going against Earthshaker 2, a beautiful Shallow Grave counteracting it, and Jixing's still in play. He can clean up this fight easily with the Sleight of Fist coming through. Oh, targets it to the east. Not sure about that, but we're going to see Kaido go for the Crush and try to slip away here. The Bloodstone heal, bringing 3 heroes up to full, but it's just 3 heroes, and one of them will stand no longer as Kaido gets caught by the chains. TP, Glimmer from the Wyvern. Oh, Kaido, locked down, killed off. You just can't take the high ground against this team. That's the strength of the draft, is that on the defense, they are stronger than any other place in the game. This choke point, this funnel, is like the easiest position to just slam it down. They even went Echo Slam before Vacuum, and it worked out perfectly. Like, if you had a Zeus on your team, and you were able to Zeus ulti to cut off Blink Daggers, then it's a safe siege. But otherwise, it's impossible, because you don't have a way of cutting off the Blinks. Maybe if you precast Yules, if you get like an Observer Ward in the base, you see Shaker or Darkseer, and you give the Yules command before they're in range, so as soon as they blink in, you'll be able to Yules them. Maybe something like that can work, but just going in raw like that, I don't care who you hit with the Winter's Curse, you're screwed. And we just saw that there. Lina going down to 8 Bloodstone charges, BKB's wasted, Courier's dead, and VG.P suddenly just taking back 5,000 net worth out of that one fight, and even more in experience. It's just so dramatic, the effects of the swing when you get wiped out so hard like that. Now, did Lina deny herself? No, her Bloodstone's off cooldown. And now, Earthshaker has the Force Staff, Ember Spirit the Daedalus, Darksword BKB. Not yet, but soon. Just not a fight you take. And now they have to really reset things. They have to just spread the map. I feel like the game is split push. Like, just have heroes ready to rotate, have a couple maybe off the map, and then just push in side lanes both at once. If you go for the tier 3 itself, you're in trouble. Another thing they could do is maybe go for Necronomicons, Manta styles, those kinds of things. Obviously Manta's bad with no agility heroes, but the Necros could be solid. Other than that, you just have to look for the pickoff. You have to look for a fight where the Ember Spirit's dead without buyback. And that's another time where the Bounty Hunter track buff, debuff, actually comes into play. If you mouse over the buff when you have it on somebody, you see how much gold they're carrying. And you can do the quick math on whether or not they have buyback if they die. So, you see that Ember doesn't have buyback when you track kill him, and then you go in making sure that you're confident that you're not facing against that Battle Fury. But if you just try to brute force it the same way as you did before, you're in trouble. So we're just going to see them go for a smoke play and try to surprise their opponents. Problem is, it looks like the smoke is going to be expiring without finding their target. And it's actually going to be a smoke coming in from the Dire. They're looking to fight outside their base. They're ready and willing to. There's nothing that can be happening in the Roche pit, so they don't really have a clear direction. They don't have a clear path to take. But they're just trying to bait something and try to clash smoke on smoke and get the better exchange. Now they have to make their move. They're going to make the move into the Radiant jungle, but I think they'll... Yeah, they see the Slaughter now. He's under the Observer Ward. So they're going to go for a very large flank. They should go through this path, and they should find an opportunity. Other than that, they're just waiting for somebody to TP this tower to farm it, which is very possible to happen too, but... So yeah, DK is going to come to farm under the tower, but he's got enough backup that this could be a very heavy exchange. They weave early. This is going to build up nice armor values as they look to go in, but they only have a single target to work with now. How do they jump before BKBs come out? And soon Bounty Hunter's going to reveal they have to go, but Dragonite is just cleaved and crit and knocked down so fast he can't even BKB. Bounty Hunter goes down too, and Wyvern is silenced so she can't Winter's Curse. They've cleaned up 3 outside their base, grabbed themselves a gem from HYM's pocket, and now take the tier 2 tower. I ask, how do you get that kill fast enough that they can't respond? And the answer is a crit. A massive crit coming from the Ember Spirit. And of course the Sonic Wave and all the ultimates. Really nicely done. Really nicely done for VG.P. And yeah, I would still think they're stronger on the defense, but they've shown that they have some chops on the offense too, as they now look to push the tier 3, and nobody wants to buy back on these short death timers. Wow, very impressed. Darkseer still hasn't used his BKB, hasn't had a reason to. We've got 7,000 net worth, the only thing keeping VG.P out of an even game, and honestly I think that's going to go down shortly with the next update. They're starting to just dominate the map. They've got... the wards are expiring, granted. They gave information, now they're going down, only this one will remain. This one too, but I'm not sure if that's one as useful at this point, since they just got that momentum swing. Man, this is tough. I mean, they got the Aghanim Scepter and the Lina now. That is going to be 850 pure damage right to somebody's face. On top of that, they have the Wyvern ultimate still available, while VG.P are lacking ultis, but as long as they play this a little bit cautiously until the ultimates are back up, I think VG.P are still the better fighters. They just have so much 5v5, especially if they can get a jump like that. I feel like, though, if they're not defending on high ground, if it's an open field fight, and all 3 BKBs get out at the beginning of the fight, that EHOME might still be able to take the advantage. It really comes down to killing somebody without BKBing, and it's hard to do. Okay, gonna see the Echo Slam come out, trying to kill off the Dragonite, but really doesn't do enough damage here. And it seems like just one hero initiating, and the others being too far back. Instead, it's gonna be the follow-through from DXM. He gets a nice stun. Now it's gonna be a stun onto Yang, too. He wanted that back wall. He's got the BKB now. He backs. No, he gets Winter's Curse, and he gets killed by his own teammate. Oh no, the Darkseer and Dazzle have fallen, and Fan cannot clean this up. Even with the DK down, it's just going to be, oh, well. As I say, that Earthshaker hits a massive stun on 2, and they do end up getting some big damage out there. Jixing, bringing the crits, and X just doing some real work with his follow-up. Wow, that one Fisher actually did so much work there. And Ember, 3,900. Some massive crits coming out. Now the silence on DK, who has no BKB. A little bit more damage, and he's dead. Boom! Smacks him down with the Enchanted Totem. Now tries to dive further, but Freeze, well, gets caught inside the Searing Chains, and there he goes, suiciding with the Bloodstone. Will be down for 52 seconds as a tier 2 falls. I really didn't think that one was going to work the same way, but they managed it nevertheless. Despite the vacuum wall not happening at all, there was still enough clumping that the Ember Spirit was really useful, and some just really overall great team play from VG.P. I mean, like I said, I loved their draft. I felt like they could take this as far into the late game as they needed to. But now, trying to break the high ground. They take the tier 3 bottom, it looks like. It's very close to falling, but Slaughter coming in, Blink Crush, onto 1. Earthshaker Fisher only hitting on the Wyvern, who's already silenced. And they'll just look to disengage. Trying for more would be... it depends on the Darkseer. It really comes down to the Darkseer's movements. If he gets a good vacuum, then hell yeah, they can still keep fighting. And I think they're going to try to rely on that a little bit. But no, as I say that, the Dragonite is close enough to respawning, they'll just back out. They've taken some amazing wins here, brought the net worth back to 0. And now the racks are vulnerable. EHOME Luminous seemed to really have a good idea of how to run this lineup for a long time, but once they started facing all these blinks, they started having problems. Their BKBs just aren't coming out fast enough. Now they're going to go for a smoke play. Roshan, obviously the key objective here. But do they risk walking into the pit against this Darkseer? It's very dangerous. Radiant have no vision just at this moment. Nothing past that cliff. And they're going right in on it. Dire don't see him either, though. And if they're gathering for a smoke, it's going to be too late. No, they're expecting a smoke. What they're expecting is a 5-man smoke up this cliff, and they're ready to jump if that happens. The ward would scout it, and then the Darkseer would pounce. But no, it's not going to be that jump. It's going to be Roshan, that EHOME take for themselves, and that's an easy Aegis for the Dragonite this time. Now, like I said, Elder Dragon Form isn't as strong of a tool with Aegis, because you only get it for one of the 2 lives. But that being said, this Dragonite has died actually really quickly in fights, so maybe you do just take the brunt of the focus, staying on the front line as DXM, and when you come back, you blink forward with the Elder Dragon Form and you just clean us. This has surprised me, but Fan was actually able to farm up an Assault Kuros. If you look at net worth, he's actually 3rd now, way, way above the Dragonite, and AC, a pretty huge pickup here. I would say the Ag's Refresher may be still better, but even a Lincoln's might be better, actually, because of the Laguna, Dragon Tail, even the Winter's Curse. Sure, it might be just Force Staffed or tracked off, but I'd argue that in how fast these fights are happening, that you could definitely catch an ultimate out of it, or a big stun. Either way, she opts for the AC, no Lincolns, no Ag's Refresher, and while that solves their problem of sieging, they're going to be able to break the racks a lot faster. It actually doesn't really help their teamfight damage output, since that's still mostly the cleave damage, the enhanced damage, as well as their pure. But occasionally Ember Spirit gets some good single target hits in, and that obviously, plus -5 armor is a big deal in those situations. No Guardian Greaves still for the Bounty Hunter. He's warding, so the Wyvern can focus on herself. She has a Ghost Scepter now, Glimmer Cape Force. Wonder what she goes next.
Regeneration.
Gems up on the Earthshaker, Glimmers up on the Dazzle, and really not much else to talk about. I want to see another Battle Fear, though. I think that's where Jixing just really does so much work. Actually going to see an opportunity for Jixing to start hitting racks, but that's mostly because the creep wave is approaching and nobody really has bothered to push it out on EHOME's side. Flying Courier, just TP scrolls. Oh, that's a really bad place to be, by the way, guys, if you don't have a TP scroll. I actually saw a team nearly lose this way at the Summit 3. The Summit 3, there was a team that had an Earthshaker doing crazy stuff here, and then the enemy started pushing the base, and he had to like run all the way across the map, blinking, and he got caught in these friggin' trees, of all places. He blinked into those trees, and nearly didn't show up in time for the fight, but they didn't see him the entire time, which made it so the Dire team didn't actually take advantage of this. Still, TP scrolls, important. And we're going to see them all bouncing back here, ready to rock and roll on the defense. This is going to be hard. I mean, yeah, you've got the Aegis. Ooh, get the track out. You really want amp damage on the target more than track, since it gives vision around the target too. For now, though, Earthshaker just continuing to do his thing, trying to keep the wave pushing in. While EHOME are kind of in a position where they don't want to force the high ground, and therefore are in a position of attrition, the Earthshaker could still be pressuring top. But in the end, I don't think VG.P wants to force any TPs home. I think they want EHOME to still fight into the high ground, and in the end, they just want to crush them. They're even like trying to bait a fight, essentially. Alright, Earthshaker's TPing back. They're ready to roll, but they have to find a hero. They have to open it up. And only now do they have True Sight in the base. When the Earthshaker TP'd back, the gem started revealing wards, but there very well could have been a ward sitting here the entire time that they didn't know about. AC progression for Slardar. Gonna have that actually now if he wants to buy out for it. I don't think you should buy out this game. You can get one shot way too easily by the combos that we've seen. But and in fact, that's just a regular chainmail Interesting. Okay, so the AC components I highlighted there were actually for the Dragon Knight. He's completed his AC. And then the Slardar, Chainmail. I don't think Blade Mail is to pick up. Solar Crest is actually not too bad. And then otherwise you're looking at like the Crimson Guard since the mech's already there. Might have just been a missed pickup though. I think he might just sell it since he probably thought that he was going AC instead of the DK. Either way, we're going to see VG.P come out of their hidey hole and look for a fight. They can get a two-man hit here, but it's actually going to be the BKB. Ember Spirit getting the stuns here against him. The Winter's Curse nullified by Shallow Grave again. And now we see Ember Spirit jumping out. Oh, no! He needs BOT's level 2, quickly! Oh my gosh, he jumped way too far out of the fight, and now they have to fight without him with the Echo Slam coming in. The Darkseer goes down, doesn't drop the Wall of Replica, and his teammates are just dying. He BOTs to the mid lane and starts pushing, but that doesn't mean anything. That was a huge misplay from the Ember Spirit. Oh no! Oh no! He's gonna put some hits on the tier 3, but he does not kill it fast enough, and he has to jump away. No, what he did was he hit his Activate Fire Remnant without dropping a Remnant, and instead of, you know, flying all around where he wanted to, he's just jumped home, doing almost no damage in the team fight at all. And yeah, sure, he survived, but at the cost of his teammates, the Dazzle, the Shaker, and the Darkseer all going down, and now the high ground is broken wide open. Aw, man, he could have salvaged it if he bought BOT's level 2. He could have TP'd to a hero, but he probably didn't think of it in time. Buys the Lincolns now, as well as trying to hold the line, getting some good cleave here on the creep wave. Fan blinks in with the BKB, gonna be doing some damage, but that Laguna pierces right through. So they kill off the Queen of Pain. She's gonna have to buy back, as we're gonna see EHOME. They're not resting at 1 racks, they're going for 2, and Ember just bought out. He cannot die here. He gets graved up, but he needs to heal back at the fountain. If he dies, it might just be GG. He does not have buyback right now. He bought out too hard with the Lincolns. We're going to see the Winter Wyvern ultimate coming up in just 5 seconds. Yang gets caught out, gets killed off. The wall's in a bad position, and the Darkseer is no longer there. The Queen of Pain's back, but a triple crush. Winter's Curse on to Fan, the Queen of Pain. She's going to die back if they can just focus her down. There's no Shallow Grave, but she does get the blink away. X now in a really bad spot. Will be running as far as he can, but he will be crushed in the end. Queen of Pain, the sole survivor, and she can't hold it alone. They're going to take the mid lane. They're going to look for the top. And this is an Ember Spirit who bought out for a Lincoln's. That might have just cost them. Jixing pulled out some amazing plays this game. He did so much damage as a whole, but he actually is the one that could arguably be said to have lost it with the last 2 exchanges. Having jumped back to base when I can't imagine that he meant to jump back to base when the fight was happening, and then buying the items that in the end didn't change his fate. I mean, he obviously didn't want to be Winter's Cursed, but you have to save for buyback with the Lincolns as well. Oh well, it's a hard game, and you can't play it perfect for the full 50 minutes. At some point you're going to make mistakes, and EHOME Luminous, they actually do prevail. Although it was clearly not their game towards the later half, they were able to find the pickoffs they need and take advantage of the mistakes that were made. EHOME Luminous are going to take game 1 of this 2-game series, but we're not done here. It might be 5 AM by me, but we got one more game of Dota 2 coming at you guys. It is going to be the conclusion of this best of 2, deciding an equalizer or a 2-0 victory for EHOME Luminous, and it is going to be the last Star Ladder I-League China match for us tonight. So thank you guys once again for tuning in. Hope you guys are genuinely enjoying the broadcast. If you are enjoying the commentary, despite the technical limitations I'm working with here, you can feel free to look me up on Twitter @BlazeCasting, and we'll see you guys in game 2.
Exciting battles of the